Phasmophobia's 2023 holiday is now over, and that means that all the snowmen from the maps have been removed. But as a result, new lighting changes are here, new graphical changes are here, and Phasmophobia has made some changes to the Grafton map. Let's get into it. If you navigate over to your options, video, scroll all the way down, there's now eye adaptation, there's screen space illumination as well. You can turn these on and off, feel free to play around with them. Honestly, I really don't care for screen space illumination, but the eye adaptation is very, very nice. It helps my eyes get used to moving from light to dark areas very nicely. So I prefer that in my gameplay. You can now also go ahead and change the brightness of the cursor of your screen, that little circle you can see in the center of the screen right now on the door. So you can go to options, game, scroll down just a little bit, you'll see cursor brightness. By default, it's 20%, so it's kind of transparent. But if you go ahead and turn it all the way up to 100%, if you want to, you'll be able to see it much clearer on dark surfaces, especially during like dark houses when you're doing your investigation. You should be able to see that cursor very nicely. To test some of the lighting changes with this update, we're going to do it on Tanglewood Drive. I have the weather set to being clear skies night, so we can get the full effect of all the light increases. We're going to use tier 2 items as well, so it's a good middle ground for everybody. So tier 2 flashlight, tier 2 UV, tier 2 headcam. Immediately I can see that the outside of the map is definitely brighter than it was before, just with the outside lighting. I can now see the car colors across the street as well. Green, blue. I can see more features down the road as well. Definitely the street lights and the natural lighting is giving off more than it was before. Oh, I can even see inside of this room. I can see the colors pretty well inside this room. I can tell it's a blue room, and I can see all the features inside of it without having any lights on at all. First things first, we're gonna do is I'm gonna use the handheld flashlight. All right, that's pretty damn good. This is almost giving off very similar lighting to what the tier 3 flashlight was before the lighting change. So it's definitely giving off more light. It has a bigger concentration of light in the center, and it kind of dissipates on the edges, which you would expect from a tier 2 flashlight. Let's go ahead and try the UV light. Tier 2 UV, definitely still a very valid source of lighting if you had no other option and you didn't have a flashlight on you. I can see where I'm going super well, and I can see all the features of the house as well. And this is just tier 2, so that's pretty impressive. Now let's try the head cam. Oh my god. Wow, that's a massive increase. Okay. With the head cam on, this is tier 2 head cam, I can see the entirety of the room now, instead of it just illuminating partial of the room. Because if you remember, the tier 2 head cam didn't give off a lot of light forward. It only gave a lot of light on the floor where you were walking. Now I can see everything in front of me. That's great. This tier 2 headcam now is now more worth getting and using, I would say. I also quickly want to just be able to point out, and it may be hard to see, is that the natural lighting inside of the map seems to be better as well. Like, I could definitely see almost everything inside of this living room in Tanglewood without having any light sources on at all. It seems like the moon lighting is bringing in a little bit in the window, and I can see some of the outlines of everything that's going on in here. So that's pretty cool. The natural lighting has been increased as well. Now, time to dive into some of the hiding changes made to Grafton Farmhouse. Grafton Farmhouse has been a Phasmophobia community favorite since the very beginning of the game's release, and I think some changes have been done to Grafton's hiding that will make it less desirable to a lot of players, including myself. If you navigate to the upstairs hallway, you will find the armchair has an opportunity to be put against the wall now. It is no longer a guaranteed hiding spot. And the same thing will apply for the nursery crib in Grafton. Both the armchair in the hallway and the nursery crib are now considered official hiding spots and have the ability to be blocked depending on your difficulty you're on. If you watched my video on the 2024 Phasmophobia roadmap, you know that Grafton is going to be reworked. So why didn't they wait to make those changes until the Grafton rework, whenever it's going to come later on this year? Why did they decide to make them now? It seems like it wasn't really worth the time, and it seems like it just kind of made everything more difficult for all of us players. But that's my only opinion. Hope you go ahead and go check out all these lighting changes and graphical changes for yourself. Let me know what you think about them. Personally, I think the lighting change is something that has been needed for a very, very long time. Phasmophobia has been seeming very, very dark recently, and it's been hard to see. You can't really see in some of those dark, shadowy areas, and now that seems to be resolved, which is a fantastic thing. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and follow for more videos, and we'll catch you next time. Stay crispy.